Hello and welcome back to Tiki Bar True Crimes, and today we're going to talk about the case of Pedro Lopez, aka the Monster of the Andes. Pedro Lopez was a child murderer and rapist, so if these are things that you would find triggering, please feel free to click out of this video. He was born in 1948 in Colombia to an incredibly poor family. His mother was a prostitute and his father was murdered 6 months before he was born. It was a very violent household. There wasn't a lot of nurturing. It wasn't a great place to grow up in, and by the time he was 9, his mother evicted him because she caught him trying to molest his sister. Now, he spent the next few years on the streets, where he experienced a lot of hardship, including a lot of sexual assault. He survived, and in 1969 he was actually arrested for auto theft. By this point he's 21. He goes to jail, and there he is gang raped brutally by a group of men. After this incident, he tracks down each and every one of them and viciously kills them. Now, these killings are seen as self-defense, and they only add an additional 2 years to his sentence. In 1978 he is released, and this is where he starts to target children, specifically young girls between the ages of 8 and 12. He's a vagrant. He kind of tours around Northwest South America, mainly Peru, Ecuador and Colombia. He states that he killed over 300 children between the period of 1978 and 1980. However, only around 100 children have been identified. It's quite difficult to get a grasp on how many victims he actually has, because he was touring around all these different countries at the time. He was, however, captured by an indigenous tribe because he tried to steal one of their 9-year-old girls. Some commissionaries convinced them to release him to the local authorities. Local authorities did detain him, however they didn't put him in jail or convict him of anything. They just deported him from Peru. He then drifts around even more, and police do have kind of tabs on him, and they do notice that children are going missing wherever he's going, but they put it down to human trafficking. In 1980 there is some flash flooding in Ecuador, and this flash flooding exposes the remains of several girls. So now the police are alerted to the fact that there is a serial killer on the loose. Shortly after this flash flooding, a mother and daughter are walking down the street towards a market, and Lopez tries to lure her away. However, market stall holders grab him, manage to detain him until the police arrive, and then he is taken into custody. This is where he starts to admit to his crime. He says that he lures the girls away, rapes and strangles them. He even admits to digging up their corpses and pretending to have tea parties with them. Now, this is just really bizarre and incredibly disturbing. When asked why he did all this, he said that his innocence was taken away at the age of 8 and he wanted to do what was done to him. He was tried and convicted and given the maximum sentence, which is actually only 16 years. He only served 14 and then was deported to Colombia, where he was sent for psychiatric evaluation. He was there institutionalized compulsively. He didn't have a choice. He only stayed there though for 4 years and then was released. So he was released on bail in 1998 with the provision that he was to check in with authorities. He didn't do this. He essentially just went on the run immediately. There have been a couple of sightings of him since, but as of today, he is a fugitive on the run. He has also been subsequently linked to 2 other murders, one in 2002 and one in 2012. So that was the story of Pedro Lopez. I hope you enjoyed my content. Please remember to like, subscribe and comment. If you have any suggestions for a case you'd like me to cover, please let me know in the comments below.